It's just crazy what's happening now with stuff in Twitter and Meta. I'm just having my morning coffee and reading what's happening. That's crazy. Meta, 11,000 something tech staff is just fired. Twitter fired half of the employees. So, but there are few lessons to learn. I think so. So, I think now it's obvious that your feeling that you have a stable job in stable company is that fiction. I was working before in corporate, in senior roles in corporation, and that was all the time so that, on corporate level, on management level, there always are discussions about cost cutting and so on. And while you are sitting and working in your stable work, probably it is already a few times discussed which one from you or your colleagues to fire this month to cut the costs. And yeah, obviously, those job titles means nothing. Those just make some structure to understand who is responsible for what. Yes, in some companies, salary is highly tied to the job title. For example, junior is getting X amount of money, senior that amount of money. Yeah, then it kind of makes sense to try to get that senior title. But other than that, that doesn't matter. I had director's title on my business card. I had head of product management title on business card. I do not care about that at all. Currently, I'm just saying, I'm building iOS apps. Who I am, junior developer, senior developer, consultant. I'm going with consultant because that sounds fancy and whatever. And what is most funny is sometimes companies offers job title instead of raising your salary. For example, you're going to negotiations about salary and they're saying, this is tough year, crisis, all that stuff. We can't offer you salary rise this year, but we can give you senior developer title and we'll see what we can do with salary next year. Deal? And you're kind of, yeah, it's kind of cool, I'm senior now, but that means nothing, actually. That means nothing. Do not overwork. Overworking is just a stupid thing to do. Let me show you something. Okay, I have a few of them. If you will be overachiever, maybe you will go at one of those at the end of the year. Best support engineer 2008. Whatever, you can read it. Okay, whatever, basically one. The best in 2013, whatever. Being overachiever and going over and beyond will not do anything good to you. That can damage your family, that can damage your health. Maybe you will earn a little bit more, but unlikely. Usually you are getting basically the same salary. You're just getting on one place on somewhere on some leaders board and something like that. So it doesn't make difference. Sure, at the end of the year you will get one of those, but will that make you kind of more stable at work or make you more money? Unlikely. Even if you will earn a little bit more money, you will spend it and in the next year you will not even remember what you did with all that money. So it doesn't matter. But that doesn't guarantee that you will move onto the top of the career ladder because communications and communication and what are your friends basically make difference in your career. Because if you are even overachiever, if you are brightest mind in the company, if you are doing your work the best comparing with others, but still don't have good communication skills and do not have good relationships with your management, and maybe management kind of don't like you, that doesn't matter how good you are at your work. You will have hard time working at that company and hard time to building career. Also, don't have illusions, you don't have friends in the company. Yes, you may have friendly relationships with your coworkers, but those are just coworkers, and HR definitely is not your friend. Everyone, HR, your management, they are basically how to satisfy senior management how to satisfy stakeholders, basically company how to bring value, generate money for stakeholders. And all the friendly relationships, those are good, of course, that makes work better, but no one of them are your friends. If someone should be fired and you are in the list, you will be fired. Those friendly relationships maybe will help to be not on the top of the list, but anyways, will not remove you from that list. If you are staying in one company for, 10 years, that doesn't mean that you are in safer place. That just means that you are definitely underpaid, Unfortunately, but it is fact that if you are kind of like to get rise in the salary, the best move is to just switch companies and move to another company, because staying in the same company for a long period of time, unlikely you will get the same raise if you will jump between companies. And work is just work. You are working for money, right? If you have one of those, like this one, thank you for 10 years in company, so most likely you are massively underpaid, and that doesn't mean that you will be kind of safe if massive firings, massive layouts will happen. Currently, Meta has a bunch. Meta just fired 11,000 people, and I saw quite a few developers who has 5+ years experience in Meta. For me, basically, it was the same when I was working in corporate environment. I was for 10 years with one company. I was in senior management, and basically to get some serious rise, I should jump to another kind of corporate company, and then another and then another. I just didn't want to do that. I just decided to go a different path, be freelancer and build my own stuff. And also sometimes they are saying, okay, we can't give you much more money, but we will give you a stock options. So basically, that stock options, those are just golden chain to connect you with company, because those stack options usually work so that you getting those stack options, but you can't sell until you are working for 1, 3, 5 years, and so on and so on. I got also my stacks instead of rise last time. I spent 1 more year in the company when I was able to sell most of them. I sold what I can sold and left the company. And sometimes when you are working in company for a long time, you maybe feel that you are not replaceable at all. Basically, you are maybe you are kind of thinking, oh, to replace me, they have to hire 5 or at least 3 people with different skill sets and so on and so on. Well, that is one more sign that you are underpaid. And companies, if that will be necessary, they will fire you, and if that will be necessary, they will hire later 2, 3, 5 people, whatever it will be in it. Well, when time will be better, then they will hire. When time is tough like it is now, they will fire, and that's it. I saw that multiple times. I was in that position as well when I took over 2 persons job and I was working just for 1 salary. That was the same, basically management job for 2 persons, and that was just whatever. That was how that was working. When I left, it was also kind of whatever. Who the hell will do all that work? They found a replacement, everything is fine. And from inside, for you, that maybe feels like, I don't know, shitstorm, and that will not go well. But from outside, company looks just fine, everything works just fine, everything is okay. My colleague currently, he's working on that project for about 6 months already. Basically, small department was removed, and they are just replacing all the tech stack, rewriting bunch of code, doing a lot of changes to keep the company up and running. From outside, it looks calm, and still he's doing massive work, doing that well, and yeah, solvable problem. And yeah, how to deal with all of that. I'm not saying that everyone should go freelance or work on your own and so on and so on. That is totally different work, different set of skills, and not everyone like and should do that. But just open your eyes. Your stable, well-paid job in the big company can be ended any day, and be smart, make savings. It's kind of silly if you were working in Meta making $700,000 in a year, and now basically you don't have savings. I think each and every one of them have savings and can live for at least few years without big problems. They should, at least, right? And if you're going freelance or self-employed path, you just have eyes open and you know all the financial situation, you know what relationships you have with your customers and so on and so on. If you are working an employee under the 5 management levels, you just don't know real picture where the company is, what is financial situation, how safe your job is, and so on and so on. You just should care about yourself, make savings, be sure that everything will work fine. If you will miss your job and more revenue streams is better, therefore I highly recommend to have some indie project, indie app which generates money on side hustle for freelancing, some side business. If you will focus only on your main job, that is only revenue income. That is only just one revenue income stream, and that is scary situation to be, especially if that income stream is huge. Yeah, it is easy to find job in IT nowadays because still bunch of companies are hiring. But if you were used to have 700K in a year and now you have to switch to 500 or 300K jobs, so that's not so easy. Okay, for all those who lost the jobs, fingers crossed that you will get replacement. If you're one of those, stop watching this video, go for job interviews. If you still have job, start do savings and think about side income streams to be safe. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.